Whatever reality is unfolding in front of me is not necessarily my reality. I can create something else. And I really believe in the magic of the world.
Of course, miracles happen every day.
It does.
What got you into spirituality at such a young age?
I love to work with science. Even when I was a baby, I would just have a dream about something and boom, it happens. I believe in science from the universe.
You find there's a lot of people out there who just don't want to go deep. They don't want to look in the mirror. They don't want to reflect.
I do. I find a lot of people who don't want to ask the question, why am I here? What's really going on for me? Who am I? And the cost of asking that question sometimes is pretty big. That's where the power is. It's not in not taking action. Take action, make the decision, but don't harden yourself throughout the decision. One of my things is allow life penetrate you. Open up into the situation. If it hurts, yes, it hurts.
So it's okay to cry.
Of course.
Gladiators, welcome. I'm so looking forward to interviewing this gentleman in front of me. The only part that I haven't been looking forward to or challenged to is his surname. And as you know, I struggle with names. So here we go. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Adeyemi Adeyosoye.
Adeyosoye.
Adeyosoye. Oh my God. Almost. I'll get there. How are you, my friend?
Good to meet you, brother.
It's an honor to have you here in the arena. It's really strange because I watched your videos online and then we bump into each other going back January of this year, right? And I met a lot of people and I remembered you the most. And since then, I like to think we built a friendship. And what are you laughing at? Is it a friendship?
I think we are.
It is, yeah. Acquaintances for now anyway. Sure. Yeah. So I love what you do online. Some of it is risque. So I just want to kind of share your wisdom, ask you questions, answer some of my own questions in my personal life, and take it from there. Is that okay?
Let's flow, brother.
I know you have courses and you do events, and we will discuss that at the end. But what I want the audience to do is really learn from your journey, get to know you first, and then we can talk about all the stuff that you do later on. Okay. So where are you from? What do you do?
So I was born in Nigeria. I born into a military family, we can say. Father was one of those men, gladiator, if you want. And I lived there for about 15 years. We went through many different ups and downs, many different situations, which you can say life-threatening, beautiful situations. I had the entire gamut. And then I moved over to the US where I studied mechanical engineering. And
were you the only child?
No, we're 4 kids. So my father had 10 children, right? Separate marriage.
When you say active duty, now I know what you mean.
he was on fire.
He was active.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely. And we were second wife, second family, because his first one dissolved, didn't work as well. Caused him a lot of pain in his life. But anyway, moved on. And when I moved to America, went to study mechanical engineering.
Mom Nigerian. When you moved, and when you moved, all the family moved to the US?
I moved solo. So I've been alone.
Focus a little bit on your childhood. Tell me about Nigeria. What do you remember? And you lived in a military base?
No, so my father and my mother, they started off very poor. They started off.
Are you mixed race?
I am. I'm part Hungarian.
So your mom was mixed race, so she was full?
My mom was mixed race. So my mom's father got, he lost his entire family during the World War, right? He literally went to buy cheese at one of the local stalls. In Hungary. Before he came back, as soon as he was there, they got overrun by the Nazis, right? When that happened, they hid him under the floorboard. And he waited there for hours, a couple of days, whatever it was. And during that period, the owner of the store, his entire family got wiped out. When he came out of there, his entire family got wiped out. Didn't see any of them.
Did you ever meet him?
I did. Wow. And that's an interesting story because my mother did not know her father for 40 years and 40 days. And she found him on the 40th day of a 40-day fast. The first time a family ever went to England. But before that, he lost all of his family, went through traveling, took his life to a different direction, ended up becoming an arts dealer, went to Nigeria because of the African art, right? And that's where he obviously fell in love with a beautiful black woman. And that became my mother.
And he was white Jewish Hungarian.
White Jewish Hungarian.
Amazing.
Right? And he ends up having multiple passports in his life. So they date, give birth to my mom, but for some reason he had to leave the country. And that's how my mom never saw her father for 40 years and 40 days, right? It took us, when we were in England, for the first time we ever traveled as a family, and I got to give my mom this because she hired a private investigator. She held hope. There were many times in her life where she says, I still have that feeling inside of me that I'm going to see my father. My father would laugh at her and would make jokes. We see people on the TV, he says this dead somewhere, he's buried, just jokes, right? Obviously, he's a military dude.
Your mum and dad are still together?
They're still together, 40-year marriage.
Okay.
It's one of those, they're still there. And so we travel together for the first time as kids. It's about 10 years old at the time. And we go to England. She had a private investigator searching, tracing.
She knew he was in England?
She didn't know. She had no idea.
Oh, wow.
She didn't even know if it was even alive. And so we arrive in England, 2004. And all of a sudden, she gets a call saying they found her father. And he's in England. He's in London. Not only that, his house was the house where we lived in a place called Bounds Green, which you know in London. You go up the street, take the bus, and the first bus 221 all the way to Edgware Road, that was his house. And so we're one bus away. And I like to look at this as just the orchestration of life, right? On how life can move things forward, and also energy, because she was on a 40-day fast, searching, praying for some breakthrough. And it happened, and that's where we met him. That was what led to me getting my Hungarian passport many years later. That's what opened up my entire life.
Were you there when they met?
She went to meet him with someone else, but about 3 days later, that's when we met him. I formed an amazing bond with him. In fact, when he died, I was with him 3 days before he died.
When did he die?
This was in 2010, I believe. It was 86. Couldn't walk. Died of lung cancer.
So he suffered.
But amazingly sweet man. And even with the cancer, he would just be singing in the house.
So in those 5-6 years that your mom saw him again, when they got close, what was his response? Did he live up to her expectations?
There's a lot of sadness, because obviously this was the child he couldn't see. There's a lot of connection between both of them, but they could not do the things of traveling together, having fun together. So she traveled multiple times to see him. The one thing he did give her, though, was the citizenship, the Hungarian citizenship. That was the one thing he left. And that was the one thing that changed all of the children's lives, right? Because that gave me access to be in Dubai to get my British passport.
So you got a British passport now?
I have 3 passports now.
Fantastic. Hungarian, Nigerian, and British.
I'm a lucky guy.
You know, when a questionnaire comes, how many passports do you have? I'm like, does that one count? Yeah, exactly. Incredible. Before we move on again, I really want to stop because I want to go deep. Did you see your mum suffer change, her characteristics because of her pain of lack of father in her life? Do you see anything that shaped yours?
She never knew him. And the beautiful thing with my mother, and I would also give this to Nigerians, is one word: hope. A lot of Africans have hope. And so for her, it was never a case of it changed her because she didn't have a father. It caused some pain. But then her whole thing was, how do we create a family where there's love and respect between us and our own father, us and her? And so I never actually noticed pain from her side. That's one thing she did very well. She shielded the family from her pain. And she's one of those people who, she can take a lot. She'll smile on the outside. She's ever positive.
Strong woman.
Always looking for the next thing. It's always what's in the future, right? This is a woman who, there was a picture of her, which she showed us when she was going to school, and she had no shoes. She had to cover her her feet with a paper bag just for the picture. This lady went on to build the largest technical and computer training institute in Nigeria with 4 different centers and about 200 employees. She was the person who took care of all of her siblings.
Amazing.
Right? And there was a lot she could have done if she wasn't in Nigeria, because she was really that smart, really that brainy. But she's one of the people who really prioritized family over everything. And as much as she went through her pain, her whole thing is, how do I give? How do I support the next person? How do I live from a place of open-heartedness, right? So that's one thing she definitely gave us. And this is a lady who did not have shoes.
Wow. So she inspires you. Is she with us today? Yes?
She is with us.
Wonderful.
She sent me a message shortly, not too long ago. We speak quite often.
She's still working?
Still working.
In Nigeria?
60 years old.
So she's young. She's my age.
Extremely fired up about life.
Wow.
I do think if she was in a different country, she would have achieved way more. She's one of those people that have that billionaire mentality.
Business in Nigeria is not easy.
That was where things actually got interesting, because she was building quite a lot. And then we had a regime change many years back, and the economy went down in half. So in fact, when I left Nigeria the first time, the Naira, which is Nigerian currency, to the dollar was 131. Now it's about 1,500.
Crazy.
So it's gone down 10x. And for some reason, she's still able to survive. I don't know how they do it.
And your dad being in the military, what has that taught you? So you had an entrepreneur mom.
Yes.
You saw perseverance, strength, focus, leadership,
Positivity.
positive hope. Yeah. And from your dad?
Father also ended up being an entrepreneur. He had a similar story where also there's something with shoes in my family for some reason, because at the point he didn't have shoes until he was 13 years old, right? He grew up in the farm. And then he goes off to join the army at about 16. He's meant to be 18 to join the army. Joins in anyway. It's like, I want to go do this. Ends up in war, in the Nigerian Civil War, where we fought between ourselves. And that's where you just saw this extremely hardened man come out. Faced combat multiple times. He was the only person that could have gotten killed in a space, and he was able to come out of it. Grew very quickly to becoming a captain within the army, and he was one of those people who you send when you want. When you have a mission where you know it's very unlikely someone survives, they will send him, right? And he will go in there, demolish the place, and still come out. And there's a thing here of...
You're a big guy. Was he a big guy? Is he a big guy?
He's about 6'3". His energy is ridiculous, Darius.
Wow.
He's a force of nature.
Wow. Still.
Force of nature.
Still.
Yes.
Amazing.
Now he's 78.
Yes.
A lot calmer. But when he was younger, wow. He's one of those people where... So from the army, when Nigeria went through their civil war, it ended up becoming a military-run government, right? The people who led him in the army were people who became presidents. So all of a sudden, he is connected to the president, to the government. He knew everybody, right? And he became actually one of the people that would install governors within cities. There was a governor election once where you see him with his guns and his cars and everything and just goes out to campaign for individuals. So it was all about security. The beautiful thing with my father is his values. He's very, very locked in on values and discipline. So in Nigeria, you have a lot of corruption. Even the people above him who became presidents, who he was friends with, they were quite
honest and loyal.
Correct. But he would never take a dollar from you. He would never take a dollar from you. Doesn't matter how many billions you put in front of him. That's one thing I learned from him and my mom. They've had billions put in front of them. They've had invitations to become ministers of the government, but to avoid corruption, they stand because they believe in the type of money you earn. There's a kind of money you would earn that gives you sleepless nights, and there's a kind of money you earn where you just sleep and you're happy in your own space. Mm-hmm. And so for him, he also became an entrepreneur because after the army, he went on as an agricultural consultant, flew around the world, trained in Romania as an engineer. He speaks fluent Romanian, speaks about 7 languages, flew to Malaysia and helped with the palm export from Nigeria into Malaysia, where Malaysia now has become one of the biggest palm producers in the world. He was one of the people behind that. And so that led him into his entrepreneurial path, where he started a construction company and started working in construction, worked with some Israelis who came down to the city because there were a lot of Israelis that created the foundation of Nigeria. For him, also quite entrepreneurial. And my mom, if it's positivity, hope, and all of those things, my father is discipline, integrity. Can you stand as a person? Regardless of your position in life, can you have enough self-worth where even if you're in front of a governor or a president, you're unshakable? That's him. So when I say he's a force of nature, he's one of those people that if you piss him off, he becomes a thorn in your flesh and he does not leave. Mm-hmm. He's always, and that's one thing actually from him, he's a fighter, which in some ways is a bad thing, right? Because you have a father who constantly, he loves a good fight, right? That makes him feel alive.
He's killed people.
You can say that.
Have you ever asked him what it feels like or how he feels? Or
I think in many ways he has shut down that part of himself. That's part of his identity now, where he loves war. Loves war. Because war gave him his identity. I don't think he ever fully healed from it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He's a super soft, sweet man, but he loves war. And so when he had that opportunity of killing, yes, he killed people. He was in war. He demolished places, right? That's what he did. But also it's an interesting thing because if we go into some of the traumatic aspect of that, the same energy of him that killed people was the same thing that protected us. Because I had moments where people tried to kill us and he shot them in front of us, right? I was about 3 years old at this point.
You saw it, you witnessed it.
He shot the guy's arm in front of us, yes.
Wow.
Because they attacked us. And in fact, when they checked after he had shot them, their gun jammed. They had already shot him, Darius. We've had this multiple times.
So he'd been shot?
No,
because it jammed. They were going to shoot him. They were going to kill him and you guys.
Interesting thing was my mom was actually in a deep prayer process because she got a sign that says something is about to happen. So she went into prayer. Your
mom's Christian, but she meditates and fasts.
She doesn't meditate. She prays a lot. She fasts a lot. I would say she's Christian spiritual because yes, she's Christian, but she's tapped into something.
What are you?
I would define myself as spiritual more so now. Because yes, I believe in Christianity and many different things, but I think religion in some ways gives you the guardrails to discover your own truth and the power within yourself, right? So I take it as the next iteration. Yes, there are many different beings out there, but religion, it's in many ways a guardrail. And when you get to a certain point where all of a sudden you realize all of these sacred texts are actually speaking about how you can awaken your power within yourself. So this was the sequence, right? Because it was the same thing I learned from my mother and my father. And it was the same thing that now I've taken to that next level of what is spirituality. So Father, that's his discipline. That's the part of him that, yes, has killed people, but also the part of him that has used that same energy to defend us multiple times. So it's an interesting...
is he a huggy, kissy person? Tactile?
He is when he's excited.
Or drunk. I'm just kidding.
In some ways when he's drunk, but he stopped drinking a while back. But he's the life of the party. He's a show boy.
Wow.
Right? He taught me how to dress because in the army, when you're in military...
Smart.
Absolutely. You're clean. The women love you. And he's a showboy through and through, right? The first Jeep Wrangler in Nigeria, he flew to New Jersey to buy it and was the guy parading himself as, clean. In fact, till today...
So he's super confident.
That's not an issue for him. Super networked. Knows everybody. If he wants to call the president, it's a couple of phone calls away.
Wow.
Right? Knows everyone. There's a part of him that maybe they didn't use his connections as much as he could have, but super confident.
I guess nobody taught him, right? It's all self-taught. Nobody taught him entrepreneurial.
He is entrepreneurial, but that's also the other part of not wanting help. That's a different thing.
He wants to do it by himself.
Power. I am integrous, but underneath that, it's also I do not want support from other people.
Wow.
Right.
He could have restricted him.
Correct.
Or put limits on his ability. Yeah.
I can't fault my father. I love what he has done.
We monitor, we observe. Doesn't mean they're right or wrong. We just observe.
Could they have been more with the network he had? Being invited as ministers several times? Easily.
Could have done so well.
But also
Nigeria is such a beautiful and wealthy country.
Have you been?
No, but I heard.
It's extremely wealthy. Extremely corrupt though.
Unfortunately. You got to be very streetwise to do well.
Man, there are people who have underground wells filled with dollars. Billions and billions of dollars. It's the way they have money is ridiculous. Some of them just get a tanker of oil and that's just theirs. They just take the money.
When was the last time you were there?
A year and 2 months ago.
Could you go and live there or no? You're too westernized.
Not only westernized, I move very quick. And so one of the things, in fact, one of my pains in life is very much as I love my country and my heritage, the things I do, the spirituality I believe in, the way I work with people, I'm completely out there for most people. Especially Nigerians who are built in a box and they've been trained on Christianity and a way of being. There are parts of things I say, it's like, whoa.
You're crazy. Lock him up. Yeah, exactly.
It's almost blasphemous. On top of that, I am westernized and I move extremely quick. Yes, I'm a spiritual coach. I ground people and all of these different things. But the other side of me is I'm extremely sharp. I move very fast. And the average pace of a Nigerian and me, we just don't do the same thing.
It's like in this area, in this region, everything's inshallah, wait a bit, no time, I know, speed.
And also I read, the things I consume, I'm always ready to break my mind. I don't know anything. I'm an empty vessel. And when you're navigating an empty vessel, you have to almost allow yourself to step out of culture to discover the true voice of yourself. In Nigeria, a lot of people have constructs. And so when I butt heads with a construct, which I deconstruct for a living,
it's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
The thing is, you could actually change them, but it's going to take 10 times more effort and hard work. And they're going to resent you anyway. So you might as well move on.
The interesting thing is, on my social media these days, I attract a lot of Africans. And there's a part of me that wants to help them and support.
Yes.
And there's another part of me that sees some of the way they operate. It's a simple thing is I could list out 6 books for people to read. And they messaged me, where can I get these books?
I know. I've seen.
I had literally had a person who messaged me asking me to send him a list or send him a PDF of the, like, dude, it's written.
Yes.
Screenshot.
You know,
Google.
we have a recruitment process, and it says we're looking for recruiting people with these talents. And then when they phone up and say, what talents do you have? They can't even read that description on the ad. I'm like,
come on.
It's just repeating what is written at the bullet points. You get the job.
I want to help you. I love it. I would love to help you.
Use some initiative.
But I did not come here without reading for 11 years. I did not come here without breaking my... Come on.
Show some commitment. We were discussing this, weren't we? Met a couple of people a few weeks back. Desperate, really pissed, not enjoying their lives. And I said, I'll give you whatever you want, and never got back to me. Yeah, sad. Anyhow, you're relatively young. You're actually very young.
Sure.
So what got you into spirituality at such a young age? So you were in Nigeria. You went to London to study?
Went to the US.
US, beg your pardon. To the US to study. What did you study?
Mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And then towards my third year, that's when the economy crashed. And so all of a sudden, I found myself paying a $70,000 a year bill. We had two of my brothers in university also. And I sat there literally getting close to completing my degree. I was quite good, right? I had my moments, and I had moments where, especially with mathematics, I'll get 110 over 100 on the most difficult math and engineering. Like, I love that stuff. But then there was a point where as soon as the economy started crashing, it started getting really tough for my family to take care of us. My older brother was about to graduate. My younger brother was about to go to school. I looked at the situation and I went, I think I can survive without this. I need my brother to graduate. I need my younger brother to go to school. I'm going to pull out. And so I pulled out. At the behest of my anger with my father, but whatever. I pulled out. That Hungarian passport I told you about, that's what allowed me to go to Germany.
Why Germany?
I wanted to do something different. I had my entire family in England.
We don't speak German.
I don't speak German. Aber nee, ich kann nicht Deutsch sprechen.
Okay, you learn fast.
Ich habe Deutsch gelernt, yeah. And so I moved there, moved over to Germany, and learned German. I actually started working as a cleaner at this point. And so I went through the high and low. And
how old were you? 22, 21?
I can't remember, maybe 18, 19.
Okay.
I went to university pretty young. I started university about 15 years old.
Okay, so you're smart.
Maybe. Sometimes.
We'll let you know in 40 minutes when you're
So I was going against people who were 19 years old, and at 15 I was just first to be done, all A's, let's move on. It was my thing. But anyway, moved over to Germany. All of a sudden I find myself cleaning floors. Okay, let's figure it out. Even while I was cleaning those floors, I started already learning. I was listening to podcasts, listening to different things. And I realized that the way I do one thing is the way I'm going to do everything else. So I started enjoying cleaning the floors. I just told myself, I'm going to make this the most spotless floor possible. And then I will see, like, I remember this particular day when I was cleaning this house in Berlin, and the lady had a toddler seat. And I literally took on the role of the mother, saying, if this toddler is going to be my child and he's playing on this floor, I need him to have a spotless environment. That boosted my energy because it gave me pride in what I was doing.
Purpose.
Right? It gave me this energy of, I'm going to show up. It doesn't matter what it is. This is all physical reality. I'm tapped into something else. I'll stop here, double back into where spirituality came from. Because of what I told you about, being attacked, Mom had many different times where she would get signs about things that were about to happen, literally premonitions, and 3 days later, the thing happens, the accident goes on, something would shift. There was a lot of protection that we felt from her spiritual connection. That awakened something in me. And even when I was a baby, I would just have a dream about something, and boom, it happened, right? So I had a very similar connection. When I was about 10 years old, I started reading 3 magic words. My father also, who was a Freemason in many ways, started giving me his own books and things to read. That opened my entire mind. So I started reading The Secret and how to manifest and connect into something deeper. And then I used that throughout my life. Fast forward back into when I was a cleaner, that was also the thing that I was using. How do I get into a higher state of energy? How can I see that whatever reality is unfolding in front of me is not necessarily my reality? I can create something else. And I remember when it started changing, when I made a decision after cleaning the house, still remember the streets, still remember the walls. And I kind of decided, I want to work at Adidas. 3 days later, I somehow, one way or the other, get a job at Adidas. I remember the guy called me into his office like, look, I don't hire non-German speakers, but there's something about you. And so I'm going to hire you.
In a store?
In a store, Tausendtinienstrasse, right? One of the best stores in Berlin. I'm working there for another month. And there was this part of me that I know what I can do. I was pretty smart. I was sharp. And I remember this specific moment when I was tying shoelaces at the end of the day. And one of the other store managers looked at me and said, hey, can you stop talking and focus on tying shoelaces? And in my head, I went, my brain can process a lot of things. Tying shoelaces and talking is probably not that
difficult, challenging.
Difficult. Yeah. Then I made a decision. And I literally just declared out into the universe, I'm going to come out of here, I will get a call. I'm not going to search for the next job. It will be something that elevates me completely out of this position. I'm not going to stress for it. It's just going to come. That's my declaration, full stop. Literally a week later, I'm going into the store. I get a call from a friend of a friend, real estate broker, pretty successful. He's signed on to this multi-million euro property and logistic real estate center in Berlin. And the whole thing was they wanted to set up a logistic real estate subsidiary for companies who wanted to set up in the Berlin region to avoid Brexit, right, and the impact of Brexit. Fast forward a couple of days later, I have this job, I have my own office.
So you're dealing with the UK companies now?
This was a German company.
Yes, but the Brexit was...
I was selling to British companies.
To British companies. That's why you didn't speak fluent German then, but your English helped a lot with the job, I see.
Just came. Right, and I really believe in the magic of the world. When you trust in the magic of the world, I'm sure you have
miracles happen every day.
It does, and so that led me into my first sales career. That taught me a little bit about sales. Worked at a job for a while. Actually, it was funny enough, right down the street from my old job, but at this time I had my own office. I had my space. Literally, probably a similar place to this. Right, upstairs roof. Just have the whole thing to yourself. Everything was sorted. Earning twice the salary, and I went, this is interesting.
Somebody else tied your shoelaces.
Let's just say I had coffee made for me. And that was part of my first journey into sales. Now, the company ended up going a different direction, was there for a few months, and I kind of went back down into a different position again, had to recalibrate myself. And that's when I decided to move to England. Finally, I was done being the rebel. And I moved to England, started again from ground zero.
This time your family are in England?
They're in England. I started ground zero, sleeping on my brother's floor because everything crashed down again. And you can guide the story how you want to get to, but literally through another sheer force of will of what I wanted to do, I found myself working in the fintech industry. And probably 6 months later, I became a sales and partnerships manager for the whole England for that company, became #1 sales rep, outsold everyone by a mile, started establishing my own thing, moved on again into another company as early sales at a startup, got shares in the company, started building the sales teams there and working in that field. Had a really beautiful relationship at this time, by the way. But then I got to a point where something felt off. I felt like now I was making some money, I was comfortable, but I wasn't really living my life. Felt like I was living someone else's life at this point. And I started having that thing in my soul that went, this is good, but something's missing. Something's off. I stayed with that feeling for a while, moved into a job that was going to pay me $700,000 a year. Most money I've ever earned. Beautiful. But still something was off. And I would...
Still in the same relationship.
Still in the same relationship. But at this point, it started to fail because I loved her dearly. But, and also I haven't even mentioned the part where I invested all of my money in crypto and lost it all. Right? So I've been down that road also, like, sure. But was in the relationship. With the relationship, I love the woman dearly, probably one of the best relationships I've ever had. But it was a thing where I started having a feeling that I needed to go into the world on my own to discover a new part of myself. And it couldn't really work within that relationship. And so as much as I loved her, I said, hey, listen, I love you dearly, but I think we need to go different paths. You probably want to go down the path of getting married, setting up, having a family, having kids. I want to go down the journey. I want to do something else. My purpose has not arrived yet. I need to figure something out. And so I started cracking everything. And I always love this, and I say this to a lot of men. When you're having chaos happen in your life, congratulations. Congratulations.
Change is happening.
Absolutely. Your snow globe is getting shaken. That's beautiful.
most people, not just men, most people wait till shit happens, change, and then they change, right? But you chose to rock things.
Spot it before it.
Yeah. So let me put this. You love this lady, and you say it's best relationship, and I'm sure you appreciated it at the time. And then you made a decision that you're going to have a tough conversation. Although you're very much mind and thoughts and goal driven, were there sleepless moments? Were you crying at any time? Were you upset that you're going to have this conversation? Or you just a matter of fact?
No, I'm not matter of fact, man. I don't operate with my mind. Quite the opposite.
Tell me.
I operate from the feeling deep inside of myself. First of all, is this my soul's path? The pain actually comes from my mind holding on to an identity and a path that I think we should have gone down, where my soul and my heart start nudging me in a different direction. That's where the pain comes from. The pain doesn't come because I'm just operating from my mind.
Pain comes from the conflict.
That dissonance where my mind creates a path. Oh, it should be this way.
And your thought says, don't do this, don't do that.
All of that. And my heart says, hey, this is not the path. And the heart requests courage.
How old you must have been then, like 24, 25?
25.
Oh my God, you thought like that at 25? Okay.
But it's my
you are
thing.
super smart, right? So
I was 8 years old and
so
people
did
told
you,
me this.
did you lose sleep before you had that conversation?
I did.
Did you think, right, I'm going to do this in a public place? I'm going to do this
No, I don't run away from things. Again, I'm not.
So you pulled her aside.
Probably I'm not like most people. I looked at the woman, first of all. I just spent time. I remember there were many nights where I just spent time looking at this woman and I went, how can I love her in a way that puts me aside? Because the one path was to be the selfish path and say, follow me down the journey, regardless of anything. Knowing fully well, especially when I lost everything with crypto and I could see the instability that brought to her and I could see where she wanted to get to in terms of marriage.
Yes.
I could see how it was destabilizing her.
Yeah, you were doing her a disservice in a way.
Absolutely. And so there were many nights where I would literally sit and stroke her hair and just watch the lady and go. I started realizing the part of myself that, yes, I wanted to keep her around, but it was a disservice to her.
Wow.
So it was less mind because mind knew exactly how. She was on board. Let's go. Let's a fire with you.
And how did she take it?
Lots of tears. We both went through the tears and crying and the pain of separation. But I had to hold strong there because it was not the path for my soul.
So it's okay to cry.
Of course. Come on. Of course.
No, people are listening.
Right?
They haven't cried ever, or they haven't hugged, or they haven't been spiritually or heart-led.
I think
men especially.
That's where the power is. It's not in not taking action. Take action. Make the decision. But don't harden yourself throughout the decision. Don't harden yourself throughout the split. One of my things is allow life penetrate you. Open up into the situation. If it hurts, yes, it hurts. I told you about some situations that I'm going through, this pain. Show up in spite of the pain. Do not close your heart and do not close off the little boy and the inner child inside of you to be strong. That's not strength for me.
Beautiful.
Strength is opening up and saying, I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling every emotion. I'm going to ride a bump. There's nothing. I'm not using anything to get out. There's no checking off. There are no addictions. I'm going to feel every speed bump. Right? And in that process, then I can hear the voice of my soul. The same thing with her. Like, yes, let's cry together if we need to.
That was 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
So have you kept in touch?
We have. We probably spoke a year ago.
How's she doing?
She's beautiful.
She met someone?
I think she recently did. Okay. I'm still sitting with that one.
How do you feel about it?
I'm still sitting with that one. No, I want her to have her life. I can see her having her kids and having a beautiful life.
Although they may not be yours.
Absolutely. We just tend to want a different life, though. I'm a bit more of a renegade. I want to experience all of life. I want to travel and do everything. Right? She was the kind of person who wants to work at a job and grow and have stability. I'm not the guy you come to for stability.
Stability is not you, yeah.
I'm a hurricane, right? And so I'm happy if she's found someone. I'm happy if she has kids.
Your siblings don't like hurricanes. They're more stable.
To an extent.
Steady, should I say.
I am the wild one in the family. I think in the last... I said this to you when I came back to Dubai. In the last 3 months, I went through 17 different cities. I'm all over the place. I've traveled. I've seen it all. Right? When even my own personal spiritual exploration, I've gone down paths that are extremely scary for most people. So it's not like my siblings don't like hurricanes. They've just come to know that I'm the person that you just can't stop. And they've loved me for it. They're a little bit different, but I think also because of the way my father and my mother are, we all have that ambition in very different ways. We all have different businesses in our own.
So what I'm picking up on is that you've witnessed missed opportunities in your life because you've seen people with incredible potential who didn't achieve their potential because of circumstances, geography, or whatever. So you don't want to miss out on opportunities, correct?
Say that.
And at the same time, it makes it very difficult for you to form relationships, be it personal or business. Because if I was a business partner of yours and you're going to 17 countries, I'd be like, is he focused? Who's paying for this? Are we lacking this and this? Me, nothing to do with what you're doing. And you can say, well, you paid for it was profitable business. That's to do with me, the way I would feel. And if I was, your love partner, I'll be missing you, right? Because you're just a maverick. You're all over the place, right? So it makes relationships tough, no? Challenging.
I think there are phases. There's a lot of phases where I live in places and I spend 9 months, a year there, settling in. And in the last 17 cities, those were business deals. Those were people to meet. Those were clients. I had billionaire clients in LA I went to go connect with. I had people I went to go learn from. And so the world has everything that we need. Do we have the courage to go get it? And obviously when I landed from all of that, I needed time. I've been in Dubai for 3 months. I did not want to even see an airplane. When I see an Emirates ad, that's slowly, give me 2 weeks, I'll come back, right? So you might interpret it that way, but I see it as, I come from Africa, for example, where there are no opportunities. You have to go out and get them. Mm-hmm. And so if you have the clients and the people in the community somewhere else, go out and meet people, connect. In all of that journey, it was meeting business partners in South Africa, going to clients in America, learning things with David Data in Miami. It was this thing of let's go out and conquer life. Let's connect into life. Mm-hmm. And you always have a process and a period of that. And another period where you come back home and then you integrate. Mm-hmm. What have I learned? What have I gotten? Mm-hmm. That's probably the phase I'm in right now. And there'll be another expression of exploration. But I also notice within my business and life, based on my design, when I have that stimulus of expression going out to different places, my business opens up. My business would 10x itself within.
Don't you have to reinvent yourself again, or but you continuing the same thing?
I will move away from reinventing and go into deeper expression.
Evolving.
It's another layer, right? Each place you go to, each person you meet, each connection, it just asks you, can you be true to yourself across every single place and every single person you meet?
I'm going to go random question. Do you find women find that really attractive in you?
What?
Because you find these gorgeous women that everybody wants, the Pamela Andersons of this world, yes? And they always like dealing with rock stars and rock bands, and because these guys are into music and traveling and they don't really care. But that's what the women want to be with them. So are you like the rock star of your...
Maybe a little bit less.
You know what
because
I'm talking
I also
about?
love depth. Right? And in fact, one of the things whenever I meet a woman or a person, it scares people how deep we go very quickly. When I met you in your office, within 30 minutes, we went straight to the core of everything. True. Right? True. So that actually scares a lot of people because a lot of people like surface level exploration and the fun of it, but they don't want to get into the core. Whereas a lot of my journeys and my spiritual experiences have always been about how deep can I go into myself. So it's a cycle of death and rebirth. That can actually be more scary to people.
In that case, do you find people shallow? Do you find there's a lot of people out there who just don't want to go deep? They don't want to look in the mirror. They don't want to reflect.
I do. I think I find a lot of people who don't want to ask the question, why am I here? What am I contributing? What's really going on for me? Who am I? Right? And so a lot of people operate with a mask and a way of being, and everything looks rosy on the outside. But deep down, they haven't actually faced themselves. Right? And the cost of asking that question sometimes is pretty big. You have someone who's built an entire business, an entire life, an entire relationship that's not his, similar to where I was with the job and the woman. And if they ask themselves that question, who am I? Is this really what I want? Automatically calls into question the very foundation they've spent years building. So I do find a lot of people avoiding that part of themselves.
I find that when it comes to business, money, people avoid talking about money. It's one of those things people don't necessarily like to discuss.
I love talking about money.
I love talking about that.
I know.
So let's go back. We're going to go back. Sure. So you just finished this relationship. You want to move on. You just started on your, would that be on your spiritual path or not? The business
I went a lot deeper on my spiritual path afterwards.
You're in London.
At this point, I moved over to Barcelona. It depends on what I can share.
Oh, of course.
I would say...
Do you speak Spanish?
No.
Okay, thank God. There's something he doesn't do.
But I did have a beautiful time in Barcelona.
Yes. Beautiful city.
There are probably a few things that I wouldn't necessarily reveal in terms of spiritual explorations that I went down. But I went to the deepest points of self-reflection. Whether that's in a child work to understand what conditioning, because yes, I grew up with an amazing father, but also there were a lot of things being programmed. Mm-hmm. When you're growing up with a person who is in the military and in the army,
huge, strong character,
you don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. I make all of my money these days from speaking, from being in my essence. I coach people just based on trust in my voice. And so I had to go through years of self-work to not only reclaim, but to actually rediscover my own voice, my own genius. Not to be the mechanical engineer that my father wanted me to be, but to be the expression that I am. And to have confidence and connection in that.
When did you realize it was time to start teaching it or sharing?
For many years, because of just how I grew up, I've always been the person who would randomly just see someone and say something and ignite something inside of them. And I would probably say more 5-6 years ago was when I started having it a little bit more, because I realized there were some friends and some people that I would speak to, give them a little bit of coaching, advice, tell them what I see, give them a path, and then 3 months, 9 months later, I see someone go from $500 to $2 million. It's like, whoa. It's like, hey, that was the day that changed was the day you told me this, and that led to this, and poof, my life took off. And so it's been a bit of a natural progression into teaching. There wasn't a day when I said, hey, now I'm going to go teach this. I just decided that the thing that I love doing so much, which was the easiest thing for me, spirituality, discussions, deep inquiry, psychological conversations, and to park this, just to add on a little bit, one of the things I loved doing so much was debating growing up. My mom used to call me a lawyer, because if you get me in a debate, sorry for you. Sorry for you. And so I always had that part that can convince and work with people's minds. So when I really started, after my own spiritual journey, deep exploration, mental, psychic work, inner child work, I just started sharing and speaking about what I do, what the process is, how I see it. I realized that there's a lot of people who talk about manifesting and creating your reality and all these different things, but a lot of it is not practical. A lot of it is just conceptual. And so for me, with my mechanical engineering background, I just asked myself, how do I make this applicable? And I can see things when we speak about the quantum field and manifesting. I can see how it applies very quickly, how it connects to the nervous system, to physical creation, the moments to make a decision that switches your field. And so there was no point where I decided, but it was a point where I realized that this thing that was very easy for me to understand, do, and I did naturally, for some reason was a little bit harder for people to understand. And I didn't think it was worth anything because of how easy it was for me. I felt like I needed to find a different purpose. And I try to say this to people now, really finding your purpose and expressing your gift oftentimes might be the easiest part of your life. It's just accepting that that is valuable.
George Michael wrote Careless Whisper when he was 17 on a school bus. Did you know about this?
Wow.
And he couldn't understand something that came so easy to him. It could change so many people's lives. And he just couldn't understand. He goes, it just came to me in a school bus. And I'm 17. I hadn't experienced love or cheating or anything. It was just something that came through me.
Correct.
And yeah, and I don't understand why it lasts generations and people remember it for the rest of their lives. Gift or thing. Whatever it is. Yeah.
Your gift is oftentimes the easiest thing. But to accept the gift, to stand in it, that's where I think it gets difficult. Because then you have to go through all the conditioning. In my case, you have to work hard for money.
Yeah, you got to monetize it. All these travels cost.
You have to show up and you have to do things a certain way. It needs to be hard, else my father.
You have to charge. How much did you charge at the beginning?
When I started, the
client?
first client I got was $3,000 about. I had this point where it's built an initial following a few years back, didn't know how to monetize it, had $2,500 in my pocket, signed in a coach for $10,000 to show me how to monetize it. My goal was to make $10,000 in a month. The first 30 days in the first calendar month after that, I made 30,000. I made 10,000, and that was my goal. I made the final $3,000 literally at 11:30 on the last day of the month, right? And it just hit my bank account. So that's when I started. Then I went up. I think after that, I started charging 12 grand. Now I can charge anywhere to 50, 60, $70,000 if someone's going to work with me one-on-one. The other programs people charge, I charge 10, 12 grand for. It's not about the money. For me now.
Now it's not about the money.
Sure.
It is when you got to pay rent, food on the table.
But still, even in that, because I've had moments. I had moments in the last month where we made a lot of money and we lost a lot of money, right? If I'm being honest, there were many things that I've done. Even in that, I've realized that as soon as I make my goal about making money, I'm dry. I'm dry, brother. But as soon as I make it about what do I really want to give, how can I support the next person, something happens. And so the way I design everything I do now is just put the person first. What do they need? How can I get them in the fastest way possible to shift their life and to recalibrate themselves? And then the money all of a sudden becomes a no-brainer. I've had people go through my programs, and a guy made $2.7 million last year, went to 3 months within my process, made 2.3. I've had people 4x their business in 3 months. Just because
so it's not relationships, it's aligning themselves.
It's deep alignment. It's congruency. It's how do you find wholeness within yourself so that you're expressing one direct, clear frequency into the field, and from that point you can magnetize things to you based on authenticity.
You're a good-looking guy. You got great physique. You're smart. I guess a lot of men want to be like you, and a lot of women want you. So, do you have lots of resentment out there?
I see a lot of people that if they don't understand my work, they might ask questions, really harsh questions. I wouldn't say resentment. Within my client fields and the people I work with, it's never about me.
You don't inspire haters.
That means I'm probably not even doing enough. Right? But I started to see it more recently where a lot of people would maybe campaign against it, but I'm not arguing about the physical expression of things. I want to get to truth. So someone might look at me and go, hey, you're a good looking guy, you're fit. I want that for you. I want you to thrive. I don't get off seeing people who are not successful or who don't have connections or who don't have opportunities.
Or underachieving.
I started as a cleaner.
Do you work out?
I do, of course.
Every
other day. Pretty much every day.
What's your exercise regime? You watch what you eat?
I eat twice a day. I don't eat until about 12 o'clock. Last meal is typically around 6 o'clock. No carbs for the most part. I actually just found that I get very lethargic. When I eat carbs, I don't sleep as well. So I took that off of my diet completely. Maybe here and there a little bit of honey, but pretty much clean. I supplement myself based on my genes. So I did genes testing to figure out what I need for my own optimal way of being. And so, yes, I work out pretty much every day. Don't skip a day, usually. Especially when things get tough. I need the gym. And then, yeah.
How long do you spend in the gym?
Minimum 30 minutes.
Wow. So it's not like solid 2 hours or anything nice.
I wish it could be, but I've had a lot of stuff to do recently.
So you actually enjoy the process?
Yeah, I wish it could be 2 hours.
Do you push yourself?
I try to. In fact, I weigh 102 kilos now. I used to weigh 120 something, 123. This is when I was in America. I used to eat 4,000 calories a day.
You were shredded or fat?
I was big. I was probably 15% body fat. I was lifting 200 kilos, that guy. But that put so much pressure on my body, I stopped it. And so I've always been quite athletic in many ways. But the thing with me and fitness is just the baseline. Especially when we're speaking about energy. My entire life is about energy optimization. And not just energy output, but actual frequency. To hold high levels of frequency, high levels of positivity, your body has to be dialed in. To authentically show up as yourself, you have to dial in your body, right? Otherwise, that causes its own kinks within the system. And so...
Amazing. And you have a routine in the gym? You monitor what you do? So, like, I did Monday chest, now I do legs, or just you go with the flow?
A little bit less. I do legs every other, let's say twice a week. I run once or twice a week. I love running. Running is one of my sports.
Sprint or
More long distance.
okay.
Right, that was one of the things that saved me. It's running is a thing for me. I've run
Treadmill.
in
It's
Dubai.
too hot now, isn't
Dubai,
it?
40 degrees treadmill.
Yeah.
Typically, though, what I love is to go outside. Right, I love when it's in really
Whereabouts
nice
do you
place in
live?
nature.
Whereabouts in Dubai?
Downtown Dubai.
Okay.
I literally live 3 minutes from the Burj Khalifa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's beautiful. Running is very nice.
Great view.
Yeah.
Just insane. And so, yeah, running, I mix it. I flow. I've trained for many years now that I really don't need a trainer. And I train based on energy. So if I have the energy for it, let's push. If I don't, minimum 30 minutes. Finish it. Check on the Apple Watch. Go back and do something. And then I do a nervous system reset every day, right? Which is something called yoga nidra, where if you're a high performer and you want to work 12, 16-hour days, you need a nervous system reset. Then.
Yoga Nidra.
Yoga nidra. It's beautiful. When you have long days, it just resets the entire body.
What brought you to Dubai?
I think I shared this with you. I was in Thailand before Dubai. And I got a call from a friend. It says, hey, come, there's this event going on in Dubai. You should come to the event. It's like, why am I going to come to the event? I'm enjoying myself in Thailand. I'm fun. I have this online business. I can do
Michelle,
everything.
wasn't it? Michelle.
And
Had you been to her events before?
No.
Oh,
never
I see.
But she called me and it kind of registered New Year's Eve, 31st of December. I said, okay, well, let's see. I love to work with signs. I believe in signs from the universe. I don't just make any decision. If someone invites me into something, I'm like, you know what? Let's wait for confirmation. Right? This is how I interpret the world. I said, okay, thank you, Michelle. I hope you have a beautiful New Year's Eve. Speak to you later. I went to a party, my one party of the year. And we partied pretty much all night, went to bed, woke up in the morning. It was a 24-hour party, so the music was still going on. And I remember waking up around 9 o'clock. And I literally just asked myself the question, should I go to Dubai? 2 minutes later, Darius, the song that's been playing house music the entire night switched to Habibi, Come to Dubai.
No.
Right? As clear as day.
Yeah.
And so I went, right, cool.
This is the sign.
Confirmation in. 7 days later, I was in Dubai. And that's when we met 2 days
And you
later.
came for the event. You didn't come to live. You didn't. And then you stayed.
I came here to live, and then I felt the opportunity here. I think a man's life is shaped by who he surrounds himself with, the content of his own mind and his heart, and where he lives. Right? And when I came to Dubai, my business jumped. We probably made the most money we've made in a 2-week period. Not from people in Dubai, but just in general. So I felt this pulse of the place. A little bit different now with summer, but I felt this pulse of the place. And I thought, okay, something's here. But then I had a bunch of meetings and people to see across the world. And so after 6 weeks here initially, I took off, went to do everything. But about 3 months back, I moved here, set up my business here. We're here now for a little bit. It's going to get hot, similar to you. We'll probably travel for a little bit and come back. But there is something that's happening here, especially with my work. It's a little bit advanced for some people here, but I haven't seen a group of people that can benefit from it more.
Your partner is based here? Your business partner?
He is in South Africa.
Okay. Okay. So it's a long distance.
Long distance, correct.
Yeah. So we met. It was an interesting meeting because I was like, and you weren't in the right place to deal with my question. Why haven't we met more? Why haven't you come to me asking for more of us to work together? Because I can help, right?
Yeah, but I think you're a person that a lot of people are going to ask from. We talked about this when we first met. When I first met you, I could see that energy. The way you were surrounded by individuals, you didn't have time. I said this to you. I didn't like you very much when I first met you. It's like, okay.
Yeah, there was love-hate, though.
There was something there.
There was love-hate. You didn't like me, but you kind of liked me.
Because you wanted me to sell and you wanted me, it's like, hey, who are you? What do you do? What's your pitch? And I went, slow down. I want to meet the man. But anyway.
Yeah, well, then I walked away. You were like, shit, I kind of missed that.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
No,
you must
I
have
told you
a
this.
lump in your throat.
No, I told you this. I said, when we didn't connect, I do not force life.
We did connect. We did connect, but not in a positive way.
But it's fine.
But it wasn't a negative way either.
That's
it was
fine.
a memorable way.
That's fine. That's fine. But what I told myself is, I believe if I'm going to meet someone, I would meet them. That's fine. I don't have to grip on it's not like, hey, Darius is here or the president is here, I need to grip on this. No, it's fine. I trust life. And so when I came back to Dubai, obviously another mutual friend, a second mutual friend, said, you both should connect. And I went, right.
I know this guy.
Yeah. Right? We should do it. And so meeting you, the reason I haven't come for help or anything of the sort, that's not the
not even help, partnership.
Sure.
Because I have a huge reach.
But let it evolve.
I have gladiators worldwide.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, bro. When I was your age, a long time ago, I would have driven it. I would have driven it. I would have seen the opportunity. I would have driven it. The way you are now is the way I am now, if that makes sense. I just don't have that. I just don't have that energy to drive anymore. I've been driving for 50 years, 46 years, right? So I let the universe take place. I'm not sure which is the best, because when I was pushing and driving, I was making loads of money. Yeah. Now it's more passive, but if I hadn't had that drive of 40 years, I wouldn't be where I am today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally
When you know
understand.
your passive is paying, you can be relaxed.
I believe in the path of surrender.
Okay.
And it's not passive, it's not relaxed. I push, I do many different things.
No, I'm talking about me.
I believe in the path of surrender. And so with you, I've met your friends, I've met your family, I've met people I've actually connected. I send you pictures of when I'm in the gym. Hey, brother, I hope you're getting on it.
Thank you for depressing me. You flexing, I'm like, oh.
No, come on, you did tell me this. And so I would rather form a connection that's genuine, because I'm at a point where I could drive and try to get somewhere. But I don't believe I'm doing life. I believe life is doing me. And so if I'm running after, hey, what can I get from Darius? What is this? Then I'm just looking at you like a bag of
what can I get? What can we do together?
Sure.
Because I'm sitting in front of someone who's obviously very gifted. And I feel I can add value. We should do something.
Beautiful. But now we've arrived at the same point of we should do something without force. And now we've met ourselves a few times where there's resonance, right? I've connected with your family. I felt you. And I know that when I'm around you, my nervous system is relaxed. We can talk and go to the depth of everything.
Yeah, true.
It's not a surface level connection.
And I don't feel you're too immature for me. I hope you don't mind, because there's 30-year gap.
So date me as much as you want.
Never say never. Never say never. Through tantric, I've realized we're all beings. So, are you the same when it comes to relationship? Like you meet a really super hot woman, you think, let it flow? Or do you go, I need to close this deal?
I find that when you become directional with a woman, she runs away, right? As soon as you become directional, it's the same thing. I want to trap you. Why do I want to close this deal with this woman? Because there's a needy part of me that wants to connect. If you are open, if you are really integrated, whether she's beautiful or whether she's not, you're connecting with her in the same way. I used to have this in my life. I'll get rigid as soon as I'm with a woman. It's like, I need to figure something out. What that does is that puts me in my mind, takes me out of my heart. The woman wants my heart. She wants me to witness her. She wants presence.
We live in a online dating world, right? So somebody's a swiper right and somebody's and then they connect. We're talking from a male point of view. I don't know. Well, we can ask about women's point of view as well. But when this woman has got hundreds of men connecting with her, how can this man connect with this woman and have an opportunity to compete or to form a relationship? Is there a skill?
Yeah, I've done a lot of online dating. It's probably the worst way to date, right? Because a woman needs to feel your presence. So in online world, obviously optimize your profile and do what you need to do. But what you're really looking to show is a level of depth and development that's not the surface level bragging with cars and how successful you are and what you've done. It doesn't work. That's the typical standard male's coping mechanism. I didn't feel good enough growing up, so I'm going to go have a lot of success and I'm going to show my cars. Hopefully I get the women. The women you attract that way, they're typically not the women that can give you the connection.
Correct.
Anyway.
Correct.
Right? So for me, it's what's your authentic truth and your expression. Have clarity in that. If you can be hyper clear on your profiles and how you show up, women love clarity. But understand that when you're going through online dating where a man has 40 likes, a woman has 1,000 in 4 days. Literally 1,000, I've asked them. And so the reason why sometimes I will find I stand out, there's clarity in my profile, there's the way I show up, pictures are amazing, but also there's this edge between masculine strength and clarity and softness and playfulness. And so they get magnetized.
Bit of mystery.
A little bit of mystery.
Humor.
More happiness, more joy. When they see joy, it's, that's interesting. But it all comes down to when you actually meet the person. I believe a lot of men need to be less directional in their encounter, because a lot of men don't actually know how to deal with women or deal with intimacy. And so for them, it's something they have to perform. That causes them to be rigid, and they go in their mind. And they start running dating protocols on what they can do to get the woman to the next step. There is no next step. This is now. And so for me, instead, it's teaching a man how to learn to just be open into the moment and to allow it to flow. We are connecting. We are going to do business together. We have time. But in that relaxedness, all of a sudden, I can connect with Darius. And the reason that's interesting, right, and the reason I tell a lot of men to go down this path is every man and every woman has masculine and feminine inside of them, right? The masculine is a directive force. I want to go get something. The feminine needs to be protected. When I came to you and when we've had many conversations, there's a lot of people that want things from you. Naturally, you are actually going to use your masculine shell to protect yourself, right? So, this person wants something, I'm not sure. So you're not going to feel as safe, even though you have everything. And so if I want to connect with you, the best way I can connect with you is by giving your feminine safety that you're not in danger. You're fine. I'm here. That opens a natural door where I don't have to convince you to do business with me. You choose to do business with me.
Totally different.
Same thing with a woman. You don't have to convince her to go to the next step with you. She chooses, and she always chooses. And so what you need to do instead is to just create the space to let her become so safe. And as soon as she becomes so safe, different parts of her awakens, and then she chooses you.
It's really strange. Thank you for that. And I hear you. It's really strange because when you talk to women, they have exactly the same problem. They can't find the right men. So somewhere along the way, they're missing each other. So what would you... going back to the date.
This is going to be a great point.
It is. Going back to the first date, should a man take her to Starbucks, to dinner, pay for it, or go 50-50?
Never go 50-50. Pay. Take her to a place you enjoy. Don't go fancy. I've never succeeded going to fancy places.
Because it's like you're buying them, right? You have to...
Doesn't make sense. I would take a woman on a walk. That's my first filtration mechanism. Especially in a place like Dubai. I have women, it's like, let's go on a walk. Like, no, you need to take me to a fancy dinner, you're off. And I've had women who you take to these dinners, they don't show up, or they don't show up with energy. They don't give you back. And you have to realize as a man that, yes, the dating world is also very hard for women right now. And there's a reason for that. Right, a lot of women throughout the world, they've had to step into a masculine shell and a masculine role to cope through life, right? And so what they're looking for from men, and also as they've stepped into their masculine shells, a lot of men have stepped into the feminine, right? They're a lot less decisive, they have less clarity.
My first marriage, I think I wore the skirt for 10 years.
And so what a woman is looking for is a man that knows how to get her back into her feminine, right? Help her return into safety. A lot of men don't know how to do that. So as a man, once you start learning these principles... And
that's not by flashy cars?
Not at all. It's presence. At the core, this is Data's work. Have you read The Way of the Superior Man?
No.
Okay. David Data, he created the framework of polarity in many ways. And so what a woman really is looking for is to be witnessed at her core. The woman is chaos. She is the life of life. She's the waves of the ocean, right? You don't try to contain the wave of the ocean. You witness it. You take it in. You're in awe of the feminine. When a woman starts to show her waves and her real depth, her power, that scares a lot of men. In the same way a man is swimming in the ocean when it's super wavy, that can kill you.
Is this wavy, we call them moods? Or no, not really?
You can call it moods. And you can get into drama.
Yeah.
Right? And if I go into drama and why the feminine will create drama, and I need to say, it's not just masculine, it's not just women and men. Feminine, masculine.
Because we all have it in us.
Correct. When the feminine creates drama, is looking to be witnessed. Most men don't understand how to react. Deal with that. They try to shut that down.
Yeah, I react.
Up, they go into their head.
Or walk because we want peace.
What they need to do instead comes back to my point of allowing life penetrate them, allowing this woman's wave and drama to come through them because it's awakening something. And from that place, meet her with love and presence. That's what she's looking for. Because if you know how to give a woman deep presence when that drama kicks off, she calms down immediately.
So they don't have psychological problems.
No. It's the hysteria in many ways is a test of your masculinity. It's a test of how grounded you are. In the same way, the waves of the ocean must test the rock. It must test the bank. And it never stops testing the bank. So don't look at the way a man and a woman works. Look at nature.
I want to talk about my own relationship with my wife, right? So I see these waves, tremendous waves coming. And my first response, internal dialogue is, here we go again, right? When we can just be consistently happy.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, causes drama, psychological problems, I'm leaving. And call me when the storm's gone. And then she says, I'm not consistent.
Correct.
Right? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm always in a good mood, right?
No,
but because I withdraw.
Yes. So
I'm learning here.
So one thing you can try to do is when you realize that there hasn't been drama for a while, you create the drama.
Because I'm thinking, I'm walking on eggshells.
No.
Any minute now, there's a drama coming.
You create there are 3 levels of relationships, and I can explain what they are in a second. You create the drama. Wake up one morning and go, oh, I don't know if this relationship is for me. There's many things here. Oh my God. I'm not sure what's happening. And then she's going to like, okay, she's going to get stimulated. And then by afternoon go, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. All good. Don't worry. It's okay. It's past.
Oh, really? So I'm thinking by not being like that, I'm consistent. I'm the pillar. I can rely on me because I'm consistently strong and happy. And
play with it. For example, does she keep coming and saying things like, I'm going to leave the marriage or it's not for me anymore? Sometimes. So
something less.
Another thing
because
to try.
I'm still around.
Another thing to try in a level 3.
It was very frequent earlier in our relationship.
Understood. So the level 1 relationship is going for more. It's a typical masculine is a leader, Andrew Tate style. Woman is completely subservient to the man. Their entire paradigm is about getting more. The woman wants more money. The man wants more success. It's complete polarity switch. Level 2 is when the man steps into his feminine. And this is what you see in the world of men becoming healers and soft and emotional, and women step into the masculine. Also, this is based on the feminist movement, which didn't necessarily go according to plan. Now, women step into their masculine, men are in their feminine. There's a depolarization of the relationship. And as a result of that, the entire focus of this stage is going into creating better, so a better world, right? It's kind of softer and it's open. To move from a level 1 to a level 2 relationship, you have to put boundaries. Right, especially when you get into the traumatic sides of things. That allows you to go to level 2. To move from a level 2 to a level 3, which is where the man has access to his feminine but predominantly resides in his masculine, woman has access to a masculine, predominantly resides in the feminine, and uses that masculine to serve the man and vice versa, you actually need to now take down those boundaries again and go into a boundaryless relationship. In your wife's condition, where she is saying, hey, I want to...
It's hypothetical. It's a friend's wife.
In the friend of your friend.
Yes.
The friend of your friend.
This could potentially be my last podcast.
You're right.
So
the friend of your friend, who we shall not name,
yes.
In his relationship, one of the things he can try is, okay, woman says, I want to leave. Especially when you've really found love with each other. Put on some music, okay.
Oh, really? I'll just turn around. I'll go to, where do you want me to stop?
Then
so I'm strong, right? That's withdrawal again, isn't it?
You go into it. Okay, let's pack. I think this is going to be a nice one for you to wear. And then this. And she's going to look at you like...
Last time this happened, I was like, well, I can't just stop you in the middle of the road. Where do you want me to turn around and drop you off, right? And I was already thinking of like, okay, I'm going to spend this trip on my own. And then hours went by. We arrived at the hotel. And she cracked a joke and it was like nothing happened.
Yes, because she got the drama she wanted.
Yeah.
And you witnessed her. She put you into full presence
and I'm like,
immediately.
Hello? This person told me.
This person
told me, hello, are you a psychopath? What's going on?
No.
Yeah, like it never happened.
She's giving you her gift though.
Oh, it's a gift.
Because the gift that she's giving you there, which you don't realize, is she's forcing you into presence. She's calling into question your sense of connection.
Because I know this friend's wife is very feminine. She's very feminine.
Sure.
And that's what is attractive to him. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because there's no other reason explaining why he stuck around.
But the very thing that this friend's wife is giving him is the very thing that challenges him.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the thing that friend loves about this person, I'm getting the hang of it now. The thing that friend loves about this person is the very thing that will frustrate him.
Yes.
The thing that
he told me.
Yes.
It's
the thing
so true.
The polarity where you go, I just want this person close, right? As soon as the morning comes, that same energy is what will frustrate the hell out of you, him. And so she's given him a gift. step into a deeper part of yourself. She's awakening him.
And there's no psychological childhood traumas
It's
there.
her gift, especially if she's in her feminine. It's like the wave testing the rock. Every single time the wave hits the rock, it gives the rock the chance to say, yes, I am a rock. It's a reconfirmation, I am a rock.
Cool. And this will go on forever. You don't suddenly become a rock and the drama's gone.
In level 3, you might start having less and less drama, but the drama you will start having would also change, or he would start having would also change. They would stop fighting from just the aspect of fighting, but they'll start fighting and having argument almost as a wake-up call into life.
Wow.
The woman's anger will become this thing of, hey, don't you understand you're dying? I need you to stand and show up. That's the energetic part of it. And so she would express love from her anger, and that anger is a version of her love, right? If this man wants to play with it, the next time she says she wants to pack, get joyful. Join her. Join her in the drama. Instead of running away and going, now I'm going to leave you doing this again and blah, 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 join her in it. Amazing. You want to pack? Wow. Where are we going? Where should I buy your ticket? Zagreb? I know this perfect place in Zagreb for you. You're going to need 2 bikinis and this. Let's stop and get one. She's going to be confused.
What if this person, what if in this situation, this person's wife doesn't allow him to communicate?
It's not she doesn't allow him to communicate.
He goes, and this person turns the music up or shouts over him.
Dance. I'm sure he has a podcast. I'm sure he's really good at communicating, this man. And so when she does that, dance with her. Because that's, again, another test.
So turn the music up and
turn it up
sing.
and dance. Don't get angry. Dance. Put her.
So it's when this person shows frustration, anger, then he's showing that he's not a rock anymore.
She's enjoyed it. Because now she's gotten him off the edge. And so that gives her this.
And then he feels that he's taken, she doesn't want him to be in his power because she's always rocking the boat.
No, she's asking him to step into his power.
Oh my God.
So this
How
woman,
messed up is this one?
It's subconscious.
Isn't it?
It's subconscious. She doesn't know she's doing this, by the way. She doesn't know. For her,
I can tell, yeah. I've observed it from distance.
Feel this day. She just does it. Wow. And so for him, he needs to say, oh, wow, she's calling me deeper into my being. Dance with her. That's what she wants. Plays on the music, be like, babe, I got the next song. I got the next song. No talking. Let's get it. She would look at you.
Just look at him. So just like this. Yeah.
But also the thing, though, the key here is he's still opening to her. He's not closing up. So she's testing. How deep can I push him and maintain his openness? How much can I force his heart open?
So I heard this guy just disappears until the storm is gone. The call comes and
give me his number.
Just everything's normal again. I'm like, oh, okay, then we're okay for 3 days.
No, he needs to get in because he would keep going because she's testing how deep can I push him, and his heart remains open.
Right, because if he's stable, he's not going to mess around. He's not going to leave me. He's going to be a pillar in the family. He's going to be this. Is that what the way they think?
If he leaves her, right, the thing with a woman is she needs a man, biologically, she needs a man's attention to be on her, right? Because as soon as his attention veers off, she's essentially losing resources which she needs for safety. That's why if a man is on a date with a woman and he's going to look at his phone, tell the woman, I need 2 minutes, I'm going to be on my phone, and then I'll come right back, and make sure you keep the 2 minutes. Because if you start drifting off, what she's interpreting, it's not that, hey, you're busy. It's no, your resources are focused on something else more important than me. So back to the situation with your dear friend, it's not a case of checking out because it's going to keep happening every 3 days. You want it to reduce? Show her how deep he can open up. How much he can allow her penetrate him and allow life penetrate him. And from that point, if he can start holding that, all of a sudden she just, okay, this really
I'm
is
not effective. I'm not rocking this. I'm not, yeah.
This really is a rock. In fact, when I push on this rock dances. Wow. I promise you, very likely no other man has given her that.
I can guarantee you that.
And so if you start giving it deeper.
If this person starts giving it deeper.
The stability that she's looking for. It's gonna go to such a deep level of intimacy.
Bro, let's do courses on this. Because I know my friend will come. My friend will attend. Do you do courses for women?
I did. I actually had last year about 6,000 women go through my processes. But I stopped working with women. Now I do mainly men's work because I think men need this. Men don't understand. They think the next helicopter will make them and give them the connection they want. And then they end up with a bunch of women who are surface level and they're frustrated. Deep down, they want connection. So I want to help men find that acceleration in themselves, tap into the energetic field, make money without having to clamor, find partners without rushing for everything in life, and actually enjoy their life. Now,
and stay in their masculine
deep
and be
in their
successful. You don't have to sacrifice your business success to have that.
Correct. Everything. I want a man to have the keys to life. Quantum keys, so they can manifest and create their life and have it come to them, right? They can just get opportunities come to them. They can navigate the changes. They can know how to penetrate their woman energetically and really open up into her. They can stop dealing with these things, and they can also start getting the intimacy they want. I have a form. I've seen all the form of the men who've gone through my process. The amount of men who are going through not having the intimacy that they want, it's ridiculous. That's part of my story. I didn't mention this. Through sexual abuse and the things I went through, I had to learn to open up into intimacy. It's a gift. Life gave me a gift because now I can help so many men. Sure. And the amount of people who go through this, I realize, hey, I want a brotherhood of men that are on this level, that are extremely ambitious, but it's not just money. They want something deeper. They want to actually wake up and go, oof, I'm in awe of life. And that takes a lot of skills and things to learn and ways of being. But from there, it opens up. After that, there is probably going to be a dating arm of the thing that I am creating to then introduce these women. Because one of the things I get, I also have a lot of women who follow me. They keep asking, hey, please, like you seem to have, it seems like you're working with some amazing men who are ambitious, who are doing the work. Where can I find them? And it's 10 to 1. In this world, really, when a man is refined, it's 10 to 1. You have options. So that dating piece and that help for women would come, but I will let it surface again on its own. Again, I'm not going to force and say, hey, spreadsheet says this is going to make X million. Let's go do that. No, let it happen.
Where are you going to be in this time next year?
This time next year, it's June. It's getting hot. I will probably be somewhere a little bit less hot. In the next 2 months, I would take some time off of Dubai, come back here. I see the base being in Dubai right now. I've been to America. I've been to England. I've lived everywhere. But there's something happening here. And so for me, until I get the next invitation somewhere else, I will be back in Dubai and be spending time here. But also I do retreats and the things I do across the world.
Should we do something together? October, November?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Love you, man.
Brother, really nice. I love
this. Has helped my friends so much. I can't wait to share it with him.
Send me his number.
I will. True Gladiator. Love you very much,
really
guys.
Nice.
Loved every second. I hope you did too. See you next time. I salute you. I salute you, man.